You either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. In the sports world, many teams and players have taken this role of the hero and the villain, and sometimes people are fortunate enough to become one of the two. Today, we will be going through one of the most hated athletes of all time, how once a player who everybody once loved as the NBA's David became the league's Goliath. LeBron James at one point was the league's messiah, a young kid from Akron, Ohio, exceeding expectations on a small market team. Until that one day.
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
After continuous colossal failure in Cleveland, LeBron's patience would finally run out, and he would take his talents to the Miami Heat and build a bomb squad with the help of Chris Bosh and his best friend Dwayne Wade at the time. This made the league essentially turn their back on LeBron, as many fans were pissed that he would leave his hometown to go form a bomb squad in Miami. The Miami Heat seemed like the team that would dominate the 2010s going forth. Or would he? The 2011 NBA Finals would be a complete failure for the Miami Heat, falling Dallas into 6 games, with LeBron putting up career lows in the final. LeBron James and his teams of monsters just wasn't as good as they seemed to be. And for the first time in a while, the league was wide open. LeBron was on his way to dethronement, and all that was needed was a young and hungry competitor willing to take it from him. But who could it be? A young player named Kevin Durant was taking the league by storm. So if anybody was going to take this nigga crown, it was going to be him. The 2011-2012 NBA season would be snapped in half, with only having 66 games instead of the regular 82, due to a lockout which led to almost 3 months of inactivity for the basketball world. Despite this, the show must go on for Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. With the help of a young Russell Westbrook on the come-up averaging 25, 5, and 4, the 6th man of the year in the name of James Harden, and Kevin Durant come up a monstrous season averaging 38 and 3, the Thunder finished their year winning 47 wins as the second seed in the Western Conference and would dominate their competitors in the NBA and solidify themselves in the NBA Finals. Finally, Kevin Durant would get his chance of glory on the biggest stage of basketball. His chance to dethrone the Goliath and become the league's hero once and for all. Miami would speed past the Eastern Conference, with LeBron putting up his iconic Game 6 performance against the Celtics and making it back to the NBA Finals. Leading into the NBA Finals fans were once dreaming about. A young and hungry Kevin Durant was on the hunt to dethrone the king, and the king was willing to do anything to keep his crown and to prove to the NBA that he is still that nigga. For the first half of the series, the Thunder and the Miami Heat would go back and forth, but a young Kevin Durant wouldn't have enough stamina to go through the rest of the series, as Miami would win the next 3 games and eventually the rest of the series. LeBron James would take home his first NBA championship and prove that I was wrong. But what would be triumph for Miami would be the opposite for Kevin Durant and the Thunder. The Thunder had failed, and Kevin Durant would fall to LeBron James, proving that LeBron was still in charge. The next 3 seasons would be complete misfortune after misfortune for Kevin Durant and the Thunder. But the basketball gods just weren't done with Durant just yet. It was the year of 2015, and the league was a long way from 2012. LeBron and the Miami dynasty would fall to Tim Duncan and Spurs in 2014, and LeBron would take his talents back to Cleveland to fulfill his promise and bring his hometown an NBA championship with Kyrie and Kevin Love on the back burner. But when Cleveland would run into a rising star named of Stephen Curry and a solidified team of light skins with the name of Golden State in the finals, LeBron's fairy tale would have to wait. The Warriors would beat LeBron's team in 6 games, and for the second time in a long time, the league would shift into a new area of champions. Another team that was a team to beat, to overthrow, and the league was yet again up for grabs for a new hero. Could Kevin Durant fulfill that promise and become the league's new hero? A healthy duo in the name of Russ Westbrook and Kevin Durant would make the 2015-2016 Thunder a season for the ages, winning 55 games, solidifying the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. The Thunder would continue their stampede in the postseason and make it to the Western Conference Finals. Finally, Kevin Durant had yet another shot of going toe-to-toe with the league's best and having another chance to fulfill that promise that he failed to fulfill in 2012. But instead of the Miami Heat, it was the Golden State Warriors. The sports world was in for a treat. The Thunder would completely dominate the Warriors in the first 4 games, gaining a 3-1 lead in the series and were looking like the favorites to run away with it. But unfortunately, the Warriors had other plans. The team of light skin would completely shut down Kevin Durant and the Thunder, and the next 3 games would be disastrous for the Thunder. No matter what Kevin and Russ did, it just wasn't enough for Stephen Curry and his Backstreet Boys. And the Warriors would come back and win the series, and the Thunder got outplayed again, and Durant once again had failed to fulfill his promise. The Warriors would go on to the finals to get their karma, and LeBron James was going to fulfill his promise and get Cleveland their first NBA title. It was obvious to everybody, including Durant, that this team wasn't going to get him to the glory he yearns for. And in this free agency, KD would make a decision that will alter how the basketball world looked at him forever. July 4th, 2016. This was the decision. The decision that turned a once beloved hero into the league's Goliath. My little 13-year-old ass was heated. I couldn't believe this skinny bitch. How could he? It was almost like he let us down. The once hero of the league that everyone knew and loved turned to the dark side. Kevin Durant would sign a 2-year deal with the Golden State Warriors for $54 million. And unfortunately, no team stood a match for this Warriors team. And they would win 2 straight back-to-back championships and dominate their competition in the near future. After the 2018 finals, Warriors would stamp themselves again as a team that the league didn't stand a chance against. Kevin would get his second NBA championship and second finals MVP, and the Warriors were at the time at the top of the world. With KD finally meeting the glory and beating LeBron James in back-to-back finals, but instead of Kevin being the good guy, Kevin was, for the first time in his career, the bad guy. But what KD's skinny ass didn't realize is there's this one rule, no matter what you do, that cannot be broken. And that is the fact that the bad guy never wins. The Warriors were approaching the 2018-2019 season high, starting off the first half of the season 12-3 and continuing their raft of the NBA, finishing first in the Western Conference with 57 wins and 27 losses. The Warriors would end up facing the Houston Rockets, which seemed like the Rockets' turn at a chance of becoming the league's heroes would just be on the stepping stool to the Warriors' finals run. But something happened towards the end of the series. Kevin Durant would fall to a calf injury in Game 5 against the Rockets, which at the time just felt like a minor injury for KD, but came out much worse. The Warriors would beat the Rockets in 6, and Dame's Trailblazers in 4, end up in the NBA Finals once again against the underdog in the name of the Toronto Raptors. The Warriors would struggle without Durant, coming 2-2 against Toronto entering Game 5. The Warriors would clear Kevin to play, but they might have put him in too early. Durant would fall to an Achilles injury, and the Warriors would continue to deal with injury after injury throughout this series. And sadly, Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors would be dethroned by the Toronto Raptors in just 6 games. And once again, the bad guys of the NBA, the Goliath, has been destroyed by David. Only this time, Kevin Durant was Goliath. Kevin Durant would leave the Warriors and team up with Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn in the summer, but unfortunately would not be able to get to the glory he once had. So the question lies in this. Did Kevin always have it in him to be the hero? Or was he just somebody who was never the hero to begin with and always had it in him to become the villain? In my opinion, Durant never wanted to be the hero. Durant in his eyes was always the villain. He always had something to prove, something to overcome. And eventually, he just got tired of defending himself. So he decided to finally embrace his true identity and become the snake the league knows now. Without further ado, man, if you like this video, you're gonna love my Carmelo Anthony video. And with that being said, man, stay healthy. I love y'all niggas, and peace.
I feel it. I feel it.